to State of the Matters. I am Kasitoni, joined by our analyst Kings Ojalo. Today, we bring you the latest breaking news across Nigeria, from urgent updates to insightful analysis. We'll guide you through the stories that matters most. Now let's get started. Soludo insists Onitsha main market remodeling must be done by Saturday. Victory or resignation? Okpebolo takes position on Tinubu winning Edo. Otti lashes out at a journalist during a media chat. We'll go on a short break now. When we return, we'll dive into the conversation. Stay with us. Good to have you join us again, Ojalo.
It's always my pleasure being here again and always.
And it's always a pleasure having you. All right, so let's dive into Soludo insisting that Onitsha main market remodeling must be done all by Saturday. Now, looking at it, the Anambra State, we know that this market has been existing for a very long time.
Of course.
And the governor coming out to demolish the market, to demolish the market is something else. Although he said that the market needs rescuing, that the market is already dead and it needs to be rescued, that it cannot survive the next 10 years. So,
we could recall when this market issue started up. That was last month. When the first closure occurred. I could still recall where he made this statement that if the traders still don't comply to his orders, that is stop that sit-at-home movement by non-political agitators and partisans in the state and thereabouts, that is going to commence remodelization and is going to ask marketers to flee from that premises for the time well being until the completion and remodelization has taken shape. And again, he has also made known to that effect time without number. And also we could see that recently there was a closure of some certain, I think one of the markets popularly known as the what they call it, where they sell spare parts and thereabouts, where it closed due to they still went ahead, taking on that sit-at-home orders by the IPOB leaders, and you understand, and failed to concur to the order of his own administration. So
the IPOB leader has already cancelled the sit-at-home.
Of course, that isn't the kind of, but we should know that there are still non-political actors in the state who practice those. Despite the IPOB leader, Mazina the Kano is in custody. There are still, should I use the word, probably illegal, agitators, hiding in some corners of Anambra State, you understand, who are still playing key role in that IPOB activities and giving orders that has put grievances and fears in the lives of the citizens of Anambra State. Now, I have something to, I have a message to Soludo, because yes, we know he's carrying out his duty, but I think Onitsha market is not the only problem faced by Anambra currently. There are a whole lot of things. Actually, he should learn from his counterpart. That is, we are talking about Otti, his political counterpart, who has in nearby states, same southeastern state. Look at the effect of Otti's administration. We can see that he has not really been making noise so far, but
he's working.
He's working. Things are moving fast.
You know that thing they said, an empty drum makes the loudest noise.
Exactly. You are just so focused on this Onitsha market. How do you think these people will easily correspond to your orders immediately? Why does it's just like a child starting a school for the very first time, and you expect him to start solving arithmetic and some great equations in the arithmetic subject at once? It's not possible. I ought let me call him the amiable governor, because I put it that way, would have gone straight slide rule every other important activities and amenities that should be done in that state. Currently, there are so many things, Anambra are really facing, like gully erosions. There are some areas in that state that even over 200 family misplaced. 2025 till 20, okay, like Unogwa Naka communities and thereabouts, where houses was demolished due to erosion. At least they've been constant occurring of seasonal floodings. The governor has failed to address all these important, things, drastic incident that affect the economy of Anambra. You are just so focused on this Onitsha market. Is that your priority for now? There are other things. There has been seasonal flooding, and the citizens of Anambra have been coming out to agitate on this, or protest on this matter for a very long time, and this thing has been affecting the welfare and properties and lives of people living in that state. You are not addressing it. You are just so focused on what they call it, the market situation. At least, okay, fine, you've given another. I think you would have mandated it to another individual, to another prominent person in the state, then take on some other tax that as a sitting governor you should do. Look at Alex Otti, for crying out loud. Are you the only? At least you are just so. It looks so. You understand. It looks as if you are trying to dodge some other mandatory responsibility as a governor. That is what I see here. And they've also be trust in tax enforcement, drivers, motorists, market traders, and thereabouts, complaining about the high tax ache that has been affecting them. Even with that problem, how do you intend people to sell in the so-called market? So what are we talking about? Insecurity is still happening in Abia State. People are being kidnapped on a daily Anambra State. I mean, thank you for that. People have been affected by that incident. We hear of people being kidnapped. One chance, instead of you to look into those crucial areas that are affecting the lives and well-being of those people, the people of that state, yet you are always taking the mandate of market. Come on, our dear governors, Soludo, should really have a rethink
that
of this.
Market remodeling, that is major project for.
But there are other things affecting the well-being of Anambra people. You should focus on that as well.
Still in political shenanigans, we say that the Pueblo has taken his position.
Our dear governor
on Tinubu winning Edo State,
GFFC instead of GCFR.
And he has sworn that if Tinubu doesn't win Edo come 2027 election, that he will resign. Will resign. He even went on to recount his predecessors and bad governance, that Obaseki was a bad governor.
The former governor of
Edo State. That was a bad governor.
In inclusion to that, he also challenged him of coming to Edo State currently, that he knows that for the fact that if he comes, that nobody in Edo State will pray for him. I don't know if you saw that.
Children, even children
will not pray for him.
But they will pray for him instead because he has brought reforms to Edo State. Thankful to the president who is behind it, and he said that the people are owing the president a thank you vote.
Yeah, in the case of Okpebolo, you see, I see him as a comic governor. You understand? He's full of comedy, and the fact that a whole lot of medias use you for caricature is something that you should at least sit down. Okay, let me work on myself in one way or the other. I think the federation is really taking me for comic, and content creators and thereabout are using me to monetize more of their page. He's not even considering it. Okay, now let's go straight to this issue. Now, if you could recall the year 2014, yes, when he was installed as the state governor. Okay, there have been a whole lot of 2024, yes. When he was imputed as the state governor, there were so many allegations raised on his campaign, on the movement of that election period, where the PDP candidate, we're talking about Igodalo, yes, by the name, who raised an allegation, and there was a foretold and evidence of vote buying in that action, in that point of view, and also there were so many clips and full evidence of that. This matter was taken to the courts, and there was a whole lot of chaos. I think as at then I was in Edo State, even in that election period before I went back to Lagos, and I saw the whole activities, how we displayed a lot of violence, police tear gassing and there. Why? Because the current administration, when you are in the PDP now, APC rather, you are now a saint. The current administration giving a full backing, police who are supposed to pave way for accurate modesty to take place became a support to this governor, who is now the governor, Okpebholo. So what am I trying to say here is that Okpebholo should know that even his insertion of becoming a governor of Edo State was, should I use the word, coincident. The matter was killed by the magistrate and also the judiciaries because of full backing of this current administration. He should come out and if he's bold enough, let the case be reasoned again. If he will not leave that seat right now, I bet you he will leave that seat immediately, because there are a lot of allegations and there are a lot of clear evidence that election was rigged. He has already allegedly rigged. He has already
said he will resign. So maybe he's on his way to resigning.
In terms of resigning, these are just political. He's a loyalist, a great loyalist, and you could see he's a political watchdog of this current administration. Position himself to, from that statement, you will know that without this administration, Okpebholo is powerless. You understand? Just like I told you yesterday, birds of the same feather flock together. So his administration, example, if coming 2027 election becomes free and fair, and let me say Amechi or Obi or Atiku or anybody emerge as president, he knows consequences await him. Yes. Okay,
let's say Obi wins as the president. You know that he'll be so scared because of the alleged assassination attempt on
leave that assassination toggery. There's no clear evidence that he orchestrated it or he sent, a lot of critics have said he's the one, but it's still until full evidence is being given that we can say yes, he was the one.
Which who arranged of course there'll be no full evidence.
Of course. So let's leave that one aside. We are talking about the 2014 election that took place in Edo State and how he came into power.
2024 election.
2024.
He was sworn into office in 2024.
2024. Thank you. Sorry for that mistake. 2024 election. Yes, when he came into power. How was he orchestrated? Was it free and fair? Did it come into office as a state governor genuinely? Let's be honest with ourselves. So that is what from the statement. That is what is clarifying. You understand? Because he knows without this current administration, he's powerless. His black book will totally be opened, and he will be totally exposed to the public.
Talking about being a comedian, in the case of Alex Otti, we are seeing him sniper and hyper. What do we call it? But before we dive into the discussion proper, let's watch this video.
Your Excellency, your administration has received praise for visible infrastructure projects and reforms. But critics say that measurable impact, transparency, and inclusive governance need improvement. Your Excellency, I want to ask, can you provide verifiable data showing how your policies have directly improved the economic and living conditions of ordinary Abians?
You've not said anything. Do you live in Abia? Okay, so if you live in Umuahia, you are the one that will provide data. The point is that this media chat is a serious media chat. So we are not here to massage your position. You can't come to a media chat and you are asking me to provide data about the measurable impact on work that is being done in the state where you live. It's irresponsible. Okay, that we throw this open for people to ask questions doesn't mean that people should be stupid. So let's take this very serious. Okay? Speech is free, so you can. But when you come for my media chat, You must be prepared. If you don't have any questions, then you don't raise your hand.
You see,
Okay, so what do you have to say about this?
No. You see, most times when I rate the governor, people say, "Oh, a great fan of Alex Otti." Why would I be a great fan of Alex Otti? You understand? You understand? Some people, I think, one of my colleagues that watched me was say, it seems you go and be among the ESCO, supporting Alex Otti for. I just laughed and I told him, I said, look, when a man is really following the constitutional implements of a country, those are the kind of people you follow. Yes, when someone is at the right track as a governor, doing the needful for the welfare of the citizens and people, a reasonable person, a man who is sensitive enough should go with that person. Recently, we saw how majority of oppositions in the state, they come to the Labour Party. This is the same party that a whole lot of people have criticized, have thrown to the corner and said there's nothing good that will come out for me. But they've seen the light.
But asking for data analysis, do you think is a bad question, or is it a wrong question that the man
No. If you look at that question from that journalist, he didn't, to me, he started by, they are critics. Now, what is he trying to, he's using those who have been criticizing. Then let's also put it back to him that, look, when you come here to ask questions, it shouldn't be a stupid question, and we should not massage those oppositions. So he's reflecting on what he's saying. That is, he might not really be against that journalist, but against those who are criticizing him, that the journalist rose up. So in essence, he is saying that the journalist at that time is not supposed to ask that question. He is supposed to bring out his own questions from his own point of view in Abia State.
So
and if you look at it, the journalist said he's living in Umuahia. So as a reasonable journalist, you should know the development that has really occurred in Umuahia and in some other parts of Abia State. Then you should afford it and give it to the state governor. That was what led to that anger.
In other words, he asked the right question at the wrong time.
The journalist?
Yes,
he asked the right question at the wrong time. But I really like, kudos to the governor who gave him refundable.
So we're seeing the case of sniper and hypo.
But on the long run, to cut the story short, you see, Alex Otti is not a violent governor. You understand? And I believe after that conference, there will be a handshake and, settlement and thereabout. Let him not look as if he's violent. But, for what he's saying is that, look, there is no data I should provide to you when you've seen everything, when there are clear evidence. What else? It looks as if you are trying to raise an investigation on the governor, on things that are well seen by the people. You are trying to look for another way of masterminding or how will I put it now, trying to raise false accusation, and he will want to play to it. That is what really happened, and that was what drove that anger. So kudos to Alex Otti, and he should continue the good works, because I've made all my research and I've seen that the governor has done it all. I think all other southeast counterparts of it should learn from him. Example, Soludo. Please learn from Alex Otti. He has really done it all. He's not a saint. He's not claiming to be a saint, but he has tried. Recall how Abia State was in the past 8 years, and look at it now. What are we talking about? So for those of you who are Abians, please try, because he has made everything. He has provided all necessity for you to prosper in that state. Please try and make sure that you are back to your state and do the needful.
And that's it for today's edition of State of the Matters. Thank you to you, our analyst.
Thank you, Kasitoni. Thanks for having me all the time.
It's always a pleasure. And to you, my viewers, for tuning in, I am Kasitoni, reminding you to stay informed and stay ahead. Join us next time for more breaking news from Nigeria. It's a beautiful day to you.